We're getting into pick and ban
Whoa.
as Ian
Did he just catch a fly?
popping off here.
Holy crap, his mechanics are on point.
He's got some fast hands.
Well, let's see how fast he bans. He has the third ban for MVP, if you're keeping track on this one. And Master Yi's banned already, so one funnel left in the Kai'Sa because Karthus is disabled.
I mean, you can play Karthus without Smite, but nobody does that anymore. Wouldn't have said that in a different year, but this is 2018. So, Camille gets banned. Swain is also quite meta, especially in the bot lane. Swain Alistair, very, very good.
And Swain just counters the current meta because of the Bruisers just sitting in his ultimate and taking oodles of damage. As Vladimir, speaking of oodles of damage, will be taken away. Zoe, conspicuously available and a favorite of Ian's. The Nocturne already banned. Seems like first pick Zoe is being threatened, but some teams have different reads on the current meta.
I think we'll get a Zoe. I mean, Aurelia. Oh, wait.
Now,
Okay, well,
if you first pick the Kai'Sa, Braum can be taken away and it's hard to run it, but they're kind of saying, hey, Jinair, you guys have played a lot of funnel comps.
Yeah.
Unwa Life Esports and Griffin have both won with the Kai'Sa comp. You could go Kai'Sa Braum in the first round, but I would much prefer to see Jinair on the standard. Keep it simple, pilot on a ranged AD carry champion, and the first pick Zoe, so far, does stay to plan.
We get a lot of first pick Zoes. Very good in the mid lane. So far, Ian has played the most games of Zoe. He has 3, but he is only 1 and 2. We're going to see Aatrox come out here pretty quickly for Solan up on the top side alongside the Trundle.
And look what it is, the old favorite of Yondu, formerly Beyond. He's just going to power pick the Sejuani. Now, it's not that much of a power pick because Trundle's already revealed, so you're thinking you're going to be in a pretty comfortable matchup as they were listening to you, apparently.
Yeah, that was the Teemo.
Now, here we go.
okay.
Another attempt at countering the Aatrox. Malphite, Sunfire Cape, maybe even Sunfire Cape Trinity Force, like we saw Keen last season and Smeb earlier this season go. Maybe that'll be a new approach to try to answer the top lane Aatrox play. That's the risk of taking Aatrox as a blind pick. Jinair, okay. Seen a lot of people try to make the Aurelia work against the Zoe. They're going to try again. The theory does fit, but actually, effectively, it hasn't been working. So we'll wait and see how the Grace does. Grace kind of been struggling this season. Ironically, his only game victory is on the Zoe.
Yep, and Aurelia wasn't picked at all, or banned. It saw no presence in the first 2 games we had tonight, and that was with Griffin versus SKT, but Jinair coming in here and saying, okay, that's going to be good into the Zoe. We didn't see Zoe either, so...
Can I present a mathematical equation to you?
Do it.
3 AD stacking champions versus a Malphite. It's not quite maths, but it doesn't look good. Yeah, the emoji there is kind of implied, but we would like to find some magical damage if possible, and Fiddlesticks from support could have provided just a little bit, but it is very strong against Bruisers, and maybe that'll be Teddy on the Aurelia, because Teddy has played it as well.
That's definitely a possibility. Throw something there. I mean, the Rise is also available. That's one pick that we've seen just a bit down in the bottom side.
How about Jina just locks in some Wizards? The double Wizards bot lane, 2 mages, just pops off. That could happen. Could happen. Teddy doesn't have to be on the Aurelia. It's seeming unlikely, but we can hold out hope.
Couple of fans there want Teddy on an AD carry. Might not be getting their wish tonight, as that Aurelia you mentioned is already there. But he has only played 1 game. 4 support bans in phase number 2. Rakan getting taken away at the end here.
Ability power. Ability power, ability power. Any magical damage. Please. I mean, he's got some magical damage.
I wasn't going to say anything. I just wanted to see them pick like a Illusion or something. I'm like, guys, come on now. It is going to be Alistair that gets some engage, but where is the ability power that Papa's asking?
Could be a last pick Kai'Sa. Go the AP build Kai'Sa. I guess that could happen. That would kind of fit the situation. You're going to be confirmed to be in a marksman bot lane from MVP, as Ezreal looks to be the pick up here.
Yeah. I like that. I think Ezreal and Zoe together are quite strong in terms of poking. They also have very nice follow-up onto the engage of Malphite and Sejuani. What are they going to pick to round out the composition here, though, is the big question.
Looking for that support pick for Max. He could play anything, including the Sejuani
How
in
about
support.
a Malphite?
Exactly. I think the Malphite is unlikely, but the Sejuani, outside chance.
Ooh,
Somebody say,
okay.
hey! Now, this is very exciting and very depressing because we have to deal with the W bug.
Oh, no.
So if you guys don't know, here's a spoiler. The sound of the W is bugged on the spectator mode. It is super loud. It's like 3 times as loud as a Nocturne Paranoia. So, sorry.
Yeah, looking forward to that. He is the new assassin support. If you guys haven't played Pyke or seen him much, you're missing out. He's a lot of fun. Thinking about Syndra, last second swap to Cassiopeia. Don't see her too often nowadays.
But where is she going? Mid lane against the Zoe is possible. Try to use the grounding effect. Could also be a Teddy pick in a duo lane. Cassio could just farm. But Teddy has already played the Irelia, so your first thought is that these will be, in fact, the roles that are picked on the side of Jin Air. Welcome back, Cassio. It's been a long while. Does bring them ability power.
I don't think she's been played this split. I mean, you've cast every game. Do you know?
It's 1 or 0 games.
1 or
I'm not
0?
100% sure.
Okay.
But yes, you're right. Priority in Korea. Been very, very low on the Cassio. Not a traditional answer to good old Zoe outside of level 1, level 2. Level 2, she can all in. With Cleanse, you could maybe make an all-in play, but often you just get poked because you're short to medium range, and she is immensely long range. But here is the end result. No AD carry for Teddy, some magic damage. We asked, we received, but will it be enough for Jin Air, desperate for their first series win?
Well, they're going to be bringing in some new stuff, at least in the Cassiopeia in the mid lane. We'll see how that can do up against Sejuani's Zoe. The Cleanse is just about the easiest summoner pick there. You're like, well, I'm going to need that a lot. So also some stuns you can get from Pyke. So that's a very worthwhile and efficient summoner to pick up for Grace. Going to be interested to see how Sohan will do in the Aatrox versus Malphite lane. Don't get to see that too often either.
And it just feels like Malphite has some great tools against the Aatrox even when the attack speed comes in. Let's see the build. Sunfire Trinity Force, what we've seen in the LCK so far this year. And do we finally have something that can lane against that pesky Aatrox?
That's the big question. They did have that counter pick, so let's see if it works out for them. Game 1 is just about to come in here, but actually, they say we have a pause.
We'll see if we can pick up the podcast. I imagine it is audio-related issues because no gameplay has happened for a gameplay issue.
How about some howling? Can we get some more howling here over at Spo TV?
It's not my favorite map, I'm going to be honest. We have the MVP stickers on their headsets. Those are cool to see. We see Teddy. He doesn't look like he's playing an AD carry because he seems a little bit depressed already. He's like, oh, I can't keep range on people. Frustrating.
Not again. It is a Nova sound issue, so Papa is correct about the sound issue being the issue. Yeah, we'll just have to wait for this one.
Pilot against his old squad. Of course, famously played for Jin Air for a good long while there. That's where he made his debut. Was originally known as a caster AD carry. So Ezreal, Corki was a really big pick for him. That was kind of where his effective champion pool was at. Some good games on Vayne in the past as well. Then came back. He left for a while, then joined MVP, and it seemed like Maha would supplant him. But Pilot has become the starter for this team and had a really good end of the spring season.
So guys, the pause not going to last too long this time around. It's going to have to put that podcast on hold as we jump into game number 1, MVP versus the Jin Air Green Wings.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Wow, that was the opposite of our first series of the night.
That's not what I expected. I was about to make a comment about MVP's fan base. You know, they're always standing by MVP through thick and thin, always really loud. And then Jin Air come in and they're like, actually, we're going to be louder than you guys. They did a good job.
Word is that the Jin Air Corporation, a airline, is struggling at the moment, so maybe trying to work out some frustration through esports. It's always one way to go, Valdez.
Yeah, I mean,
Got to win
I
somewhere.
like the idea.
Got to win somewhere. Looking at some of the rune choices
But they're not
here.
winning, Papa.
Today's the start, Valdez. They haven't been as this loud before. Last Stand is the common rune choice onto the Aatrox, because he's happy to fall into that passive, potentially win trades through it. Otherwise, it's pretty standard. No Gathering Storms on the mid lanes, but we do see one on the pesky Ezreal. Marksman still representing.
Just one, and it is one of the only ones that work on this patch. You don't see much Lucian anymore. I definitely recall a couple of games early on in the season where Lucian was being banned. Not just in Korea, but across the board. I think it was picked a couple times too.
Speaking of picks, that was a nice use of the Q there by Max. He doesn't have his W skilled yet, so I'm excited about the Pyke. That's level 3.
Yeah. Not looking forward to that, but it's just our reality that we do live in. Gonna trade Scuttles here. Actually, that is just a ward on the bottom side, but MC will eventually get down there and take that out.
ADD is still level 1, and we'll need a bit of time to get going. Frozen Heart. A very clean pickup here. It's another Q.
This time, trying to land the stun. Teddy is going to be able to dodge that one.
Bone Skewer accuracy has been very good coming through from Max. Saw it from Ignar. He was also good on it as well. But yeah, early levels, Aatrox not super powerful, but neither is Malphite. It's probably going to be pretty even lane up the top side. But when that passive is on cooldown, always be wary of the all-in from So On.
So On. We'll see what he can do on that Aatrox. He has not played a game of Aatrox, actually. We have a winning game
Never
for ADD.
ever.
Actually, never.
No, I mean, he's probably played in
How
solo
about in
queue,
solo
right?
queue? Yeah. How about in practice for this game?
Well,
We don't really know because we've seen a lot of people show up on new picks and they just
That's
look
true.
absolutely abysmal. And we're like, did you even try the champion before?
If there's ever a time
today or
to
no?
make that obvious joke, it's now. But I always make comments. It's the first time ever people are like, well, obviously he played in the scrims. And I'm like, all right, guys, all right, all right, cool.
God,
cool.
Papa.
Got me again. But then again, we see some games and you do wonder, you know. Especially this season. Especially this season. We also saw
one for me is Vladimir. There's always these people that come in, they're like, Vladimir's, very high tier. I'm gonna play it in the bot lane, it's super good. And then they just show up and it's like they don't even know what they're doing.
To be fair,
they're pro players, but it's not the same level that we expect from their AD carry performances.
to give them some credit, they usually can either lane or team fight. They can't do both most of the time, but they can do one or the other. We also had BBQ seeming to first time play the Taric E strategy with Taric farming in the mid lane. That was also, that was not the best thing to watch.
That was a head scratcher.
It's a bit struggle because short of Max channeling the Bone Skewer, they can't actually walk up to the lane because it was being controlled by Aurelia Alistar, and Alistar did have the zoning because they didn't have any wards left MVP to actually scout when he was going to go in for his headbutt pulverize. A bit of lane control over to Aurelia.
I'm excited to see what Max can do. He's definitely one of the guys here for MVP that provides the action. But speaking of action, we may have our first. So one should know that we do have the jungler coming in here. He's going to go for a ward and will be baited on into this. Can he get away? The Dark Flight, no, the stun comes in. It will pop that passive, but can the Aatrox get away? His jump was interrupted, not even going to flash. Easy first blood for Yondu on the Sejuani.
Nicely played by the side of MVP. A bit of patience from Yondu. So one goes for the face check. He actually uses his Dark Flight as he's about to go into passive, which needed to hold on to that one. You were going to die 100%, regardless of if you attempted to use that when you're at 100 health. Not the best played, but the gank was very likely to succeed the moment that So1 walked into melee range of Yondu.
Yep. First game, Aatrox struggling a little bit here, but when you get caught this badly, it's kind of just, you're not really going to get out anyway. Maybe if he had landed the Dark Flight before he died and then flashed or something after getting the knockup on the Yondu, but probably unlikely from there.
There was a lot of times to use the Dark Flight. That was not the right one.
Yes.
That's all we can really say.
Yes.
Watching Umti and Nova. Umti looks like he's getting greedy, and we saw a lot of people die to blue side Zoe with this exact play, but props to Nova. He was there just in case the pesky Sejuani and Zoe collapsed as Yondu did get the smite on the big Raptor.
It's the one that matters. Bigger is better when it comes to Raptors.
And most things.
Yes, very true.
Paychecks,
But you
for
missed
example.
my rhyme, Papa. You didn't hear that one? What, it wasn't good enough for you?
No.
Why you got to do me like that, Papa?
What can I say? Inspired by the first series of the night.
Okay. First series was good. Generally, when we get a couple of the lower teams on the rungs of LCK, we try to take it a little bit more lighthearted, but we have a couple of people that are still really on the MVP boat. Not sure about the Jin Air side, to be honest.
Yeah, that plane is, you know, in a bit of a free fall, you would say. Not quite hit the ground completely. That's relegations. As Yondu's spotted, going for a pretty obvious Sejuani lane gank, like the ward spot there, I believe, by Grace. Not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah.
I like where this game is going. I'm excited about where it's going. The earlier moments have been pretty quiet, and So1 can't really all in because he has no attack speed. He's going to try anyway.
I mean, sometimes you want to win the trades, right? He's not going to kill the Malphite, obviously. With Flash and Unstoppable Force still left available.
The reason why I'm excited, Valdez, is there's poke and there's pick on the side of MVP. Teamfight is a little bit more of a struggle unless Pilot is huge, but the Siege is pretty damn insane as they're going for this blue buff steal.
Zoe's going to get there first, might be able to land a Trouble Bubble. So1 pretty low. Trouble Bubble might be able to zone, jumping on into Umti, who does get hit by the Unstoppable Force in the Ignite. He's going to pick up the kill. Nice dodge there on the Cassiopeia ultimate. ADD getting low, though, the flash on in, and he will lose his life. Here's Teddy from the bottom side. He should be able to get a kill onto the Sejuani, but Ian comes up here. Beginning to flash on forward, trying to land it, nearly threads the needle onto So1, but he will get away.
That was some really nice plays. The flashes, the plays around there were very clean on both sides. Goes the way of MVP. Goes against MVP, you'd have to say. And now Teddy is fully committed to this. There's no mana.
Oh, he's going to get bubbled there, though, and Ian just skips away. Pretty happy about that one. Had just enough mana to lay down the bubble.
Teddy had packed up and left. MVP had not. So a little advantage to MVP at the end. Let's watch the replay. If you notice, Umti plays as well as he can. He knows the Zoe's coming, so he uses the blue buff as a shield to not get hit by that Trouble Bubble. Tries to flash out. ADD still has his ultimate available. Then we have some really cool outplays towards the end. ADD, oh boy,
clean.
Just pops off with the flash. He ends up going down anyway. Overall, Ian gets this kill and gets out. Really cool passage to play. Teddy does get a single kill that was off screen onto the Sejuani.
Yeah.
A lot happens, but nice little super play by ADD.
Ian missing a couple of paddle stars. The first one got a flash, but the second one I feel like he definitely should have hit. He may have been able to get onto So1 had he landed that one and killed Grace a little bit faster. A little bit unfortunate there.
Maybe the Observer can just stay away from the Pyke every time he uses W. Our eardrums have not been broken yet.
Not look at the bot lane. That can work out. It's kind of hard to engage onto the Alistair. Not sure if they're going to have enough damage. Oh, they're trying to go on in here. There are no summoners left available for Grace, and total vision control around that side. Actually three control wards on this side to make that kill happen. A 3-0 Zoe now, beginning to skip her way to the victory.
Easy peasy for the side of MVP. Really nicely done. That is, of course, professional play for you. Grace used his cleanse in vision. They knew it was down. Excellently layered. And Yondu, the last bastion of Sejuani, a champion that's getting reworked to try to give her a little bit of buffs around her passive, is being able to come through. And this Sejuani hasn't been shut down like the last few.
Ooh, nice job there by Pilot to get away from that one. Arcane Shift, and no engage will happen. No summoners blown from either side. And no W used by Pyke.
I'm so excited.
Good job, Max.
I really want to watch more games of Pyke, but my eardrums, please. I have to cast 6 days a week.
Yeah.
This is clean on the side of MVP. This is what Sejuani can do if she's not held down like she was in previous game.
Nice.
Excellent angles. There's no counterplay. They're just able to put him down. Rush would have been proud of this one. Easy kill to the side of MVP.
Yeah, nobody else is playing Sejuani. Yondu comes in here. He's like, I'm really good at the pick. Let me play it. He probably got a chance, and if he keeps on winning, why deny it from him, you know? As a coach, as the opposing team, when do we get to a point where you're like, Sejuani's not that strong, but can Yondu even play anything else at this point? Let's actually test him. Stun gonna come down here, but here's Max gonna jump on it with a flash W, and he will get the kill. In the end, actually gives that one over to Ian, who is now 4-0.
But you can see from the blue assist overlay, dying on the X will still end up sharing the gold. Nicely done there. Uh-oh, we heard it.
Oh, that was loud.
Yeah. Well, Max made the super play, so he gets one. Okay, Max, you get one. No more W's, please.
Yeah. That was your last W. Don't overuse W. We have a limited supply of them. Drake is coming in here, Infernal Drake, and MVP are just, they're running away with this one. I mean, this Zoe is getting out of control. Might have to add an Omega Lull to her name sometime soon, or else I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. As Infernal Drake and a 4-0 Zoe really just ruling the Rift, I should say.
Can you rule much harder than 4 kills and taking down the mid lane tower burst? This Zoe, she does not look big enough to have a wallet large enough for all the gold she's picked up. As we're going to watch the replay, they come in and it is Envision. Grace does hit the ultimate, but because of the portal jump, not really much you can do there. The E into Flash, dying on the X as well. Don't even need to get the kill credit if they die on the X. Everything going right for the side of MVP.
Yeah, and Grace just kind of baiting himself into it. You know, on certain champions like Cassiopeia, you land a crucial ability and you're like, I gotta go in, right? A Trouble Bubble from Zoe is another one of those where they'll sometimes portal jump into 5 members trying to hit a Paddle Star and then insta-die, but
portal jump does let you troll on abilities like that,
yeah.
though. Rise is the same. Where you're like, I've locked her down, oh crap. It's not quite the LeBlanc answer that used to exist when it comes to some of those mechanics, and Rise only a bot laner, and this matter is, oh no, Max.
Oh, that was so loud.
I know.
Oh my God.
It's only in observer mode, by the way, guys. It's not for the players, thankfully, so
yeah.
Sorry about that. I tried to warn everyone. When we had it, I tried to warn. When I was watching EULCS and Mike was locked in.
Oh.
We should probably warn about the Zoe as well.
Oh, he missed that
Maybe
one.
not this Zoe.
But he did so much damage with 2 auto attacks. That's where Nova's health is at right now. And he's not done with that. He's going to miss the Bone Skewer, so they just back off. Yondu picks that one up, and a very one-sided game so far for MVP. An Infernal Drake and 4,000 gold ahead. Good start for them.
Farm numbers decent on the side of Jinair. Aatrox hitting a fight with his items could be big if the engage fails from MVP. What I was alluding to is, well, Zoe Ezreal under turret. That's a pretty sick siege. Some big beefy tanks to say, stay away from our guys. That's how the tanks talk, apparently. And then on the side of, but then also, they have really good engage, right? You can throw down a Sejuani ultimate, someone's stunned, you can take a turret. But together, if you don't have a big gold lead, you have to say team fight-wise, Jina have a lot of team fight tools. They also have their own engage. They have the wall. They have CC. Teddy is close to hitting his Trinity Force. In fact, just gets it as I'm speaking. Balanced team fight, which has been the current meta. Oh. Jinair have a lot of options as Ian, oh boy, that's going to hurt the confidence. Jinair I repeat, do have team fight supremacy if they hit their item timings on time, and a 4,000 gold lead is going to hurt that.
Yeah. If you are behind, it'll be harder to get there. Max does get the engage. Trouble Bubble is going to zone out Nova. A flash will solve that as Yondu's ultimate sails wide. Not going to work out there.
Quite a difficult evacuation for Jinair, though, so Nova does get out. You wonder if perhaps just taking the Sejuani ultimate and then ulting himself would have been a better trade than to put his flash down, stop him engaging, hard to say. MVP continuing their siege, but they know where Ian is.
I think he's going to get pillared here, might be in a bit of trouble. Has 2 flashes, so I don't even know what I was saying. Was totally fine there. Uses the counterfeit one to get out of trouble, draws Jinair away from the turret. That will be another turret going over to MVP as they do extend their gold lead by about 5,000 now.
You know, it happened at the same time as the turret exploded, so it sounded like a new sound effect for the turret. It was like, oh, that's a big objective down.
That was good timing there. Nicely done, Max, trying to save our ears.
ADD has the Sunfire Cape. We're wondering if he will go Trinity Force as well to be able to take some trades against the Aatrox, but full tank would have some relevance when Ian's popping off this hard on the Zoe. And looks like full tank will be the way. So Sunfire Cape and either Iceborne Gauntlet or Frozen Heart, the expected build path here. Gonna look at the damage dealt so far this game, and no surprise, it's been Zoe hitting skill shots.
He was at exactly 5,000 there for a second, but then it did zoom on up. Max looking for the engage here. Nobody really to follow up. Does have Zoe and the rest of MVP rotating up to the top lane, though.
Bone Skewers have been excellent for Max. His Max Life impression and name is getting more and more fitting. We're going to see an attempted an engage.
Dark Flight into the enemy team. That's not what you want to see. As Sohwan disappears, the Aatrox is no longer a factor. Now 5v4. He hits another Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Isn't going to land anything else, but that will be a free turret. And ADD, he's just waltzing his way to another push in the bottom lane with nobody to stop him.
So on the captain of the team says, I see Malphite bot lane, I'm going to initiate, but the timing wasn't there to be capitalized on his team. His team wasn't fully in formation. He dies. Malph keeps pushing. The top lane turret goes down. Now the team fight comp may not matter, Valdez, because with a snowball gold lead, what's on paper means so much less as ADD's making Grace look pretty silly here.
You know, he does have coming on over, but ADD is really trying to get in there. Grace getting low and trying to do that last one hit. He will be able to get it in ADD. Going 1v2. Now the question is, can he survive? The pillar should be up here in just a minute.
7 seconds, only level 1.
Oh, he's gonna get the bite though, and the Sleepy Trouble Bubble comes in and saves his life and may kill Does a ton of damage.
Oh!
Not gonna hit him though, sails wide. And ADD chuckles his way to a kill.
That's a top 3 solo queue player right there. He punked Grace in just the most disgusting fashion. Made him look like a jobber. Some wrestling fans will understand that references.
Oh,
how about a kill on the back end?
Flashing on in. That's going to be an easy alley-oop to himself right off the backboard as we have a 5-0-1 Zoe.
Wow. That is as big a momentum shift as you could ever see. Sohwan, the captain of Jin Air, goes in, dies while the Malphite split pushing, and then Malphite really super plays. Second time this game, he has flashed over the Cassio ultimate, gets a solo kill, gets out, and they kill on the back end the jungle that tried to help.
We've had a lot of star plays here.
This is what happens when you're top 3 challenger. This is why Korean Ladder has always been something to talk about. ADD last season was a tank-only play. He would have been scared. He would have been running in one direction and died. Now, with this extra confidence we saw it manifest in his clutch play in the last series against SKT, he's doing it again, and he's playing these games like he's playing his challenger games, and he wins most of those.
Yeah, it's really impressive. It's awesome to see ADD trying to carry his team, and so far, I mean, Jin Air just hasn't looked like a mechanical match for MVP right now. I mean, Jin Air just really struggling in their decision-making and just being outplayed in pretty much every lane.
Feels bad. If you are a Jin Air fan.
Oh, boy. Oh, Nova trying to engage onto here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Another Bone Skewer.
Yeah, Nova here going to have to ultimate. And it looks like...
Remember, the ult goes through.
Okay, not enough, though, and the Paddle Star will pick it up. They just wanted to alley-oop another kill over to the Zoe, because why not?
This one doesn't actually get the assist, though, as the ultimate kills if you're below a certain HP, but you can't use it to do damage against an Alistar. Going to get reduced, of course, so no value there. It was a bit silly, Max. Probably not going to matter, though, given they're going to get another turret.
Okay, 10,000 gold lead now here at 19 minutes. MVP looking to bring in a quick end to game number 1. To be honest, I thought it would be a lot closer than this.
Me too.
But Jin Air did not show up to play tonight, that's for sure.
That's why strength of schedule is always a really interesting argument, Valdez, because you could say, okay, Griffin got to play themselves into relevance. He didn't play the top 4. They won 5 in a row. Let's see how they do. The converse is, man, Jin Air have had a rough schedule. Now they get an opponent they should theoretically be able to take. MVP have wins behind them. They have confidence. Jin Air, who have been playing with different junglers, clearly seem really short on confidence. They're also persisting with Teddy on an Aurelia, and I can just never see them winning multiple games. I can't see them winning 2 out of 3 games if Teddy's not playing marksman. They need a fallback plan. They've always been up and down in the early game, and it seems like now if you lose the early game, you just lose because they don't have an insurance policy like they have had for 3 seasons.
Yeah. You guys are taking a look at our new gold advantage graph. It's the same, just with new indicators as to, the first blood, a couple of kills here and there, also the Drakes and the turrets. 6 turrets taken by MVP so far.
It's a very busy graphic, but what you should look at is the last time a good thing happened was at 8 minutes for Jin Air. That would be one of the bubbles. And every bubble since 8 minutes has been for the side of MVP. So that's what you really need to take away.
Only 2 bubbles here for Jin Air, but they're going to be fed a lot more by the Zoe, who has definitely fed them more than 2. She's going to be looking for even more. As the Baron has spawned, we're here at 21 minutes, and it just doesn't look close for the side of Jin Air, down to 12,000 gold. We'll see if they actually try to come in here into the Baron and suicide, or just give it away.
It's a Malphite Sejuani turn and Trouble Bubbles, so it's, yeah, good luck getting to the Baron.
Well, they're TPing for it. There's the knockup, and see you later, Jin Air. Take that flight on out of here. Max, though, is going to get pretty low. It's not going to matter as Grace goes down 2. They do not have enough damage. They are way too far behind. Sent into flight there by ADD. Teddy just trying to survive here. Another trouble bubble. Ian is just styling all over them. Teddy trying to, I don't even know what he was trying to do over there on the left side. Dies to 2 people. That'll be a free Baron as well as 3 extra kills for the side of MVP.
Reminds me of games in the promotion tournament when you have an LCK team against a challenger team, and unfortunately for Jin Air, they are the challenger team in that analogy. Teddy is on a champion he has less than 50 games on, you'd have to imagine. The team has not been able to come together. Nova on engaged support has been one of their few good news stories, but it doesn't matter who's on the engaged support when you're trying to contest Baron against Malphite Sejuani. The Zoe is hyper-fed as well, and could only go one way. Valdez, we all saw it coming.
Just the AoE damage into the unstoppable force. And the follow-up, you talked about the turn. This is a really nice draft that MVP brought in. They counter-pick up on the top side with the Malphite against Aatrox. The Trundle doing pretty much nothing in this game, 0-3 and 1. And now Teddy jumping in onto the red buff when they have no vision, trying to turn this around onto Max, but he will be able to stealth away there. Red buff gonna go over to Yondu with the smite and Grace.
No one got hit again.
Okay, well, might be time to shelve the Cassiopeia at this point.
Continue to push forward. They're going to get another turret topside, another emergency play made by Jin Air. They know they will just lose if they don't try things, but trying things, this accelerates the doom for the side of Jin Air. Green Wings, they have no wave clear because they have Irelia, Cassiopeia, and Aatrox, and the Cassiopeia is also in the death chamber, so they will lose the inhibitor in top.
Yeah, not trying to be savage towards Jin Air. They're just making it easy for us as, well, MVP just wiping the floor with them now. Going to get the second inhibitor coming down to the bottom lane. We'll get the third one. Going for the tutorial victory, as you like to call it, Papa.
It's what they told you to do. They also told you to build Thornmail on your Ashe, so maybe purchase may vary, but MVP doing the good with the bad. Continue to poke forward. They now have so many minions swarming in. They want to close it right here.
Yeah. Ian, always a guy who loves to play with style. He's looking for the big time paddle stars now. As, well, Teddy is going to get hit by that. He does have a stopwatch, so he does dodge the death from below, but he's going to be killed from above now as ADD going to smack him in the face. That was anticlimactic, but that will be the end of game 1. As ADD doesn't care, he strolls on to the victory. 19,000 gold difference at the end of the game. A very easy one for MVP.
But a really well-played one with super plays from ADD, a very smart team destruction of Jin Air. They played around the first pick Zoe that went begging. That is a good pick for Ian. They drafted well, they had the right idea, and they closed the game. This is an MVP we've rarely seen have any kind of reliability. We don't always see this MVP, but the high highs we're seeing right now, if they can string them together, I think relegations is no worry for MVP.
Yeah, you know, sitting on 2-2 right now. They go up against 2 of the strongest teams, Griffin and Genji, and they lose 0-2. Yeah, it's, you know, it's hard to beat those teams. So coming in here against Jin Air, they're looking like another class, and that's really what's important, right? They're looking to end this first week at 3-2, and it's looking very likely that they will do so. Umti struggling to carry his team. He's stretching out his neck from all that weight on his back as Oh, he wasn't doing much carrying himself in game 1 either.
Whereas on the side of MVP, no one's celebrating. They look straight to their coach and they want to know what more they can do better. Not that much, really. Honestly, it was a pretty immaculate game from them. Even going for the Pike in the last round on the blue side. Some very nice bone skewer plays and all pretty simple stuff for the side of MVP.
So we're going to get to game 2 after just a short break, guys. We'll be right back.